Hello and welcome to another free code session. My name is Jason Bach and I'm going to continue on with rocks. The thing I wanted to do first is, maybe I shouldn't have done this as a numbered bulleted list because I do want these in order, but I should be doing these, not haphazardly, but I'm going to switch my mind probably on how I do these things. And one of the things I want to do here is say, okay, forget the method, that's the type to mock. What we want to do then is validate the type to mock. And part of that is going to be getting all of the mockable methods. I know I have something like this within rocks itself. If I go to rock here, and then I go to validate the type, okay. And we will put in, we don't have to worry about name generation, I don't think. But in any event, what we're doing, we're checking if it's sealed and if this type is sealed and there aren't any constructors where, oh, why would we do that? There's got to be a reason why. I think this is a way that I identified if you wanted to cannot mock sealed type. Yeah, I don't know. If it's sealed, it's sealed. So of course this is where my mantra of minimal code comments is biting me in the butt, because I can't figure out if it would be sealed, then there's no way for me to mock it. So why would I have this exception? Get constructors. The only one I could see is that this is trying to identify if the type is mocked. So I think what I'm going to want to do first is, let's come back up to here. And we want in rocks generators, we want something like mock information, okay? And what this is going to do is private read-only I type symbol type public mock information I type symbol. Yeah, I was hesitating for a second because I'm like, do I want an extension method on type symbol to say, is it valid? But I think what I want to do is kind of going down the route that I am right now, which is this, okay? I want to have this dot type is equal to type, okay? I want to say this dot validate, and we'll get to that in a moment. I want a public immutable array of diagnostics. Okay, I also, for starters, I want to have methods, we'll call it that, public immutable array of I method symbol methods. Okay, and eventually I'm going to have as well, we might as well put them in here now and say, what would be methods, property, LM, I property symbol, properties, and events. And I don't know if there's like an I event symbol. This is where there is, events. Okay. The point of why I'm doing this is because I want to say, hey, if you're given a type symbol, and let's change this. Let's make this public I type symbol type, which is a get, and that is what you're assigning up here, so we know what you passed in. Okay. Now I want to do this. I want to say if this dot type is sealed. Well, we can't mock it. Okay. So what we want to do is first do var diagnostics is equal to immutable builder, create builder of diagnostics. Okay. We're going to want to do the same thing for var events is equal to immutable array, create builder of I event symbols. Var methods is equal to immutable array, create builder of I method symbols. And var properties is equal to immutable array, create builder of I properties. Okay. And then at the end of the day, before we come out of this, it's kind of interesting because it doesn't bark at me and saying you haven't assigned something that needs to be assigned within the constructor. So we could say like this dot events is equal to events to immutable. But yes, now we've failed because we can't assign. This is one thing I don't like about this is, I mean, I kind of get it. What's the little squiggle there for? Oh, because you're giving me, yeah, put a private set there. Okay, you're cool. You're cool. This dot methods is going to be methods dot to immutable, and this dot properties is going to be properties to immutable. Okay, and then we're also going to do this dot diagnostics. Diagnostics is equal to diagnostics to immutable. So we're going to do diagnostics.add. This is where I'm going to come back and, whoops, no, not there. We want to come back to inline mapping, and we want to do, how did I do creating diagnostics? So we're going to want to do something like this, okay? And of course, what did I do here before in rocks? I'm in the thing, stupid. So we would throw a validation exception, which is not what we want to do. We want to actually do stuff like what we did in inline mapping, which is have descriptors. Yes. So that's what we're going to do here. We're going to make a folder called descriptors. Okay. And then we're going to have descriptor constants, because why not? Descriptor constants. Yes, we're doing that right. Okay, and then we want, what do we do here? We're saying that if it's sealed, cannot mock sealed type constants. Is that what we're doing? Yeah. So we'll say cannot mock sealed type constants. And what would that look like? It would look something like this. Okay. Public static class of that, except this is going to be rock 001. Cannot mock sealed types. The type O is sealed and cannot be mocked. Okay. So we're going to have cannot mock sealed type that. We're going to format it based on this. Yes, because reasons. That, except what we're going to pass in are just one thing. In this case, it's going to be this dot type name. Pretty straightforward. The help URL builder. Yep. Guess what we're going to do? We're going to copy some more code. Are you going to be smart enough to do this? Oh, yes, you are. Yeah, you're so cute. Yes, you are. Rocks. Do you already have this? No, I don't. Did I never create diagnostics? Really? That's kind of surprising. I would have thought, well, you can't because it all happens at runtime. So yeah, you couldn't create diagnostics from that. Beauty. All right. So we're going to have here rocks and a tree of a doc identifier title MD. So what does that mean? Well, shoot, that means that I need to, oh, I don't want to do that because I already have the, yeah, you're kind of wondering, what are you talking about, Jason? I already have everything kind of, I don't have source and docs, which is what I really should do. I don't have this here and I really don't want to change that right now. So what I'm going to do is say rocks documentation. Okay. And then we'll do the identifier title. What that means is that I want to have, can I do that here? Add new solution folder, rocks.documentation. Okay. Now, when I'm curious, no, don't. Where did it put it? I don't know where this is. We'll say remove. Yes, we're going to come to solution. We're going to say open there. And then in here, we're going to say add new folder, rocks.documentation. Okay. And then if we come into inline mapping, so we have docs here. We're going to do something like taking that, go back to rocks, rock your documentation, and we'll put that there and we will say rock 0001. God, I hope I don't ever have 9,999, you know, diagnostics. Okay. And then we can say edit with notepad. If the given type is sealed, a mock cannot be created. So an example of this would be, we could say like public sealed class type to mock. And then we'd kind of say var. Is it chunk or rock? I don't remember. What is my convention? I have conventions that I don't remember. You make the rock first and then you make the chunk. Okay, which it doesn't matter. Rock.create type to mock. Okay. This will generate rock 0001 as expected. Okay, I'll close, come back here, and we will close that, close that, close that. And so here what we want to say is this, there, and there. Okay, now, if I remember right, I don't know if I ever assigned them to a node, which doesn't make sense. I'm almost positive I would do that. What is this actually supposed to be here? Location. So this is actually saying a new diagnostic descriptor. Oh, and that's a params, and we don't have a location. Could we get a location though? Type dot, no. Oh yeah, you're right. This dot type dot locations. Would be nice if we could actually say here that we are certain. We've got to have at least one, right? We'll do that for now. And if I get an error, I get an error. Okay, so that's types as seal. Let's come back here. We want to go into our validator. Where's the... Yeah, I'm going to start getting confused because I'm going to be like... So we say that if get custom attribute, we cannot mock an obsolete type. Oh, that'll be fun. Okay, so here, if this dot type get attributes, let's do that. Our attributes equal to that. If attributes length is greater than 0 and attributes contains data. We don't want that. We want to say attributes any where the yes. Oh yes. I know what I want, I just don't know how to get it. Because this is easy. You can just say get the custom attribute if you add something and then is error. You can't quite do this here. We want to say get type by metadata name, but I don't think you can say this dot type model. You can say the containing module. Okay, but that's not good enough. What we want is a semantic model. Okay, because we need that. This dot model is equal to model. Okay, generate read-only property. Thank you very much. Did you put it in the right spot? Sort of. And in this case, we don't really need to expose it, I guess, because private read-only semantic model. I know it feels a little inconsistent, but that's fine. So here we need to say var obsolete attribute equal model get type it's not quite what I was looking for. Well, I did it here, I thought. Oh, not here. Where did I do this? There's somewhere. It's off the compilation. Yes. Okay. Wow. Compilation get type by metadata name. And this would be type of obsolete full name. Okay, fine. You know what? We're going to do this because generate read-only property, come down here. I'm going to pull this up here, but we're going to make it private because reasons. Okay, so now if we have any attributes and the attribute class is equals, because this is going to be a type symbol, right? Name type symbol, but obsolete attribute symbol quality comparer default. Oh, give me a break. How would you... That'd be really weird. Again, this is probably some edge case that I don't realize. But in this case, we want to add a diagnostic descriptor, except in this case, what we don't want is type extensions. Cannot mock obsolete type. Cannot mock the, okay. I'm thinking, because is error. I'm wondering if the reason we did this is because, well, it would be a compilation error. Yeah. If it's a warning, then it depends on your setting tree warnings as errors, which we could possibly hook. But for now, I didn't do it here. I could arguably do it here. Could we figure out if treat warnings as errors is true? Because I get why I'm doing it here. You can't create a new type that's inheriting from a type that is obsolete. That is not allowed. Okay, we're getting an error here because of this. The type is obsolete and cannot be mocked. Cannot mocked obsolete types. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so now we need to say here that we're going to need to put in that. Okay. But it's more than just, did you find it? Oh, crap. And you're also going to need to look at the constructor arguments, because you need to say, is like if I did this, obsolete, what I need to find is, if you're calling the constructor and constructor arguments, how do you do this? Name typed constant time. I thought in inline mapping I have somewhere where I'm using constructor arguments. Yes, that's the value. And we assume, because it is a type symbol in this case, that we're looking for that. We could assume an obsolete attribute that there's always going to be type. Well, no, it's Boolean. See, if you do named arguments here, the key and then the value, that's somewhat safer because we know that you'd be putting in, like if I say here, obsolete, and I could say A true. Okay. Now, if we look at the syntax visualizer, what does that end up being? That is a attribute as an argument list, but this is the syntax. We want the actual view symbol. No, that's not what we wanted. I wonder if it's because, hold on. Let's take this off for a second. Okay, let's come back up here. I want the actual name of the attribute. Non-error named type symbol. Yeah, you're really helpful. Is it possible to give me the type symbol? It's not a method. I mean, I get it's like a constructor, but it's not really what I'm looking for. All right, that's not as helpful as I was hoping it would be. And attribute constructor, the constructor on the attribute class. Constructor arguments. It would be constructors, right? Yes. Dot any. Type is equal to, oh, I thought you were kind is equal to bool. Oh. Well, it's a primitive, right? Value is bool error flag and error flag. Did you actually work? There's a part of me that goes, that's a bunch of crap. Because what did I do here? I said, this is just an object. And that's a destination type. But I cast it as a name type symbol because that's how you know it is. I don't know in this case if it would actually be a Boolean. Like, what would that be? Is it actually going to be a Boolean? We'll find out in the next episode because I've taken up my time here and I'm actually kind of hungry because it's lunchtime. So I'm going to make some lunch and think about this and come back. What I probably will do is the next episode is add some tests around this. You have a test to say, do you have a seal type passing in? Do you have a an obsolete coming in where the flag is true, or where you're not where you're not setting the flag at all? So we're catching those things and make sure that we've got these correct. But the intent of this is that in the generator, we're going to right here, we would, well, actually, I think in the generate mapping, one of these two places, we're going to validate, and then based on the validations, I think there's essentially three things, or maybe three or four. Get mockable constructors, get custom attribute. If the option is supported, we're going to have to put that in eventually. Internal abstract members. If it is interface, if it's not an interface, I would also argue that what we want to do is get all the mockable members, methods, events, and properties, and say, is it I think that would take care of a lot of this stuff, which is, well, not all of it, because there's this internal abstract thing, but I think that's what we want to drive to, is saying, just tell me what they are. And if I get 0 for all those, then, we can't do it. Otherwise, we now have all the things and we can actually move on from there and actually build a type. So I will do this in the next episode. So thank you all for watching. Leave comments and questions below. See you in the next episode.